Hi, welcome to Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about the law of abundance. And it is actually for this month next week on the 22nd. It peaks at 10:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The reason I'm talking about it a week before is that a lot of people watch these videos, which I'm so thankful for. However, some people don't watch them until the next day or the day after, and I don't want anybody to miss it if they want to do this. And with everything that's going on, we can all use a little abundance right now. The law of abundance, universal law, money, anything good is out there, but it just doesn't fall in your lap. You have to ask for it. That's why once a month, well, on occasion there's 2 new moons, but on a new moon, you write yourself out a check. Now, on video number 10, it shows you exactly how to do it. It also shows you on my website how to do it. But it shows you where you can get a check and everything. So video number 10 is great to see exactly how it's done. And I mean, you could even print out a check there, so it's really good. I'm going to talk today or read letters from people that have had success or not success with the law of abundance. So we're going to go ahead, and the first one is from a gal in, her name is Sue, and she is from Texas. For months I have faithfully written my law of abundance checks, and I just have to let you know about how writing those checks has turned out for me. My eldest son met and married a wonderful young woman in December. She loves my son. She loves and adores his 2 children. Perfect person for my son. During the month of January, I received the following: $339.51 in cash from the state of Texas's Comptroller's Office, money which had been declared abandoned by the state. The money was listed under my name with my correct mailing address. How any of the money had ever been abandoned is still a mystery to me, but I am certainly happy it found its way back home. Number 2, over 120, in parentheses, I grew tired of counting them, vintage full-color cookbooks in new condition. I love to cook, and I collect all kinds of cookbooks. The books feature recipes from France, Italy, Scotland, Asia, Korea, more subjects including breads, desserts, appetizers, everything, with chefs, famous chefs, Chef James Beard, on and on. Originally, each book cost over $25. Being vintage, they are worth even more. The books had been donated to our local library. They decided they hadn't room for the books and put them in their free for the taking stacks on their back porch, where they sat for days before I found them. I love each of these beautiful books, and I feel as though I've discovered a gold mine. The last one, number 3. My youngest son sold a home he had purchased as an investment. In parentheses, he made money on the deal. And yes, all of our family does the law of abundance. And he gave me the beautiful brand new furniture he bought for the home. In the mix was a huge color television set, a mattress, upholstered furniture, dishes. It was amazing. All I can say is, wow. Thank you for teaching me about the law of abundance. I can never thank you enough. This is great. She has really been so fortunate, because some people get great stuff like that. Some people, it comes in little doses. This gal is from Linda. This is our friend from Philadelphia that writes questions. Here's definitely a difference. You wanted to hear about any results from writing abundance checks. Here you go. In January, I found 12 cents. Won $4 in the lottery. My investment made almost $10,000 will put towards a new car, and then I won another $8 on the lottery. In February, I received 5 cents in the mail from a veterans group. I also won $4 in the lottery. Every little bit is a little bit more than I had before, and I'm thankful for it. Keep going, just keep going, don't forget to do it. This one is from Elizabeth in Oklahoma. Hi Marianne, it worked for me. After trying for a baby and going through expensive treatments for 4 years, nothing. 3 months after writing out the law of abundance, we now have twins. Thank you so much. Twins. I wonder if her and her husband both wrote out the law of abundance. And that's why there were 2 babies. This is a good one. The law of abundance does not work for me. I have tried it for 8 or 9 times and nothing. I've even tried it on a full moon. Doesn't work there either. You're right, it doesn't work on a full moon. And he just went on to be a little cranky. He gave me a phone number, and I put it down, and then I thought, yeah, this doesn't seem right. So I called him. And I have to say, he was pretty surprised. So I said, I got your letter complaining about not getting anything off the law of abundance. I said, would you explain to me exactly what it is that you're doing? So he did. And this is what he was not doing it before the new moon peaked. He didn't save any of the checks, which you have to do. He also put his name and his wife's name on the check he wrote. Wrong. Every person has to write their own name. It can't be a family, it's an individual. So he had to write one for himself, and his wife had to write her own. And he said that on the same check, he would write her name, his name, plus the family. Remember, one person at a time. So last month, he said that when I talked to him that he was going to try it this month and see if there was a difference. Hopefully, he writes back with some really good news. This one is from San Francisco, and it's Donna. I'm 40 years old. Since my early 20s, I enter all kinds of contests. I almost don't care what I win, it's just the whole thing of trying and winning. I'll enter 15 to 20 contests a month, out of magazines, the newspaper, anything where there's a contest ordered, I do it. I've always kept track of how many I enter and how much I win. Before the law of abundance, in 1 year I won 22 contests, another year 17 contests, but at least 5 a year. Since I started doing the law of abundance, I'm winning approximately 10 a month. Now I have to be careful what I enter, because I got a couple of wins that I really didn't want. I got a supply of rice for a year, and nobody in my family likes rice. Not the big lottery, but a lot of smaller prizes, almost $8,000. 3 cruises, 5,000 miles of free air travel, a new stove, 3 different sets of cookware, a boat, in parentheses, which I turned down. I did nothing different except the law of abundance. I will keep on doing this until I can't write anymore. Thank you so much for letting me know about this. And the last one, I'm handicapped and had a 2000 car adapted so I could drive it. This past Christmas I was at a mall and the car was stolen. In parentheses, I wonder how they figured out how to drive it. The car was insured, but the changes that were made for me to drive were very expensive. Bottom line, I couldn't come up with about $5,000 to do this to the replacement. In January, the new moon was the 24th, when I remembered it was 2 hours after the peak. But I wrote it out anyway. Good. Do that. If you miss the time, write it out on that day anyway. In February, the new moon was the 23rd. I set the clock so I could write it out before it peaked. That was a Sunday. 2 days later, I got a call from the dealership where I got my first car, and they did the adaptions for me when I bought that one. Even though I didn't go back and buy the replacement car there, someone told them what happened. In parentheses, it was on the local news. Maybe that's where they saw it. They picked up my replacement car, fixed it up so I could drive, and said it was an anonymous person that did this for him. Exactly after I wrote the check for the law of abundance. It definitely works. It was just miserable being in a house cooped up because you couldn't get out because you couldn't drive. Thanks all for all of these. And again, I'm doing it today for next week, Wednesday. Again, it's the 22nd. It peaks at 10:26 p.m. here on the East Coast. So, appropriately make it for your time zone. And next week, in the very beginning, I will remind you again about the law of abundance being on that day. But I've gotten a ton of letters again about quince seeds. How they work, why they work, what do you do with them, where do you get them. So next week it's about quince seeds. I already have some letters, but if you have any more and you want to get them to me, go ahead and get them to me. Ted still makes a trip to the post office once a week, so I will definitely get them. Please be safe and take care of yourselves, and we will do this next week, Wednesday. Thank you.